Salt Bae has been sued by former employees ranging from waiters to managers to sommeliers for wage theft, discrimination, and labor violations. The former employees describe a toxic workplace.
News threat Coachier, aka Instagram celeb Salt Bae, has his own restaurant chain, and apparently, according to those who've been, they're pretty trash. But don't worry, it's not all bad news for News Threat.
The dude Salt Bae should have had some more social acuity. He should have understood that that is unacceptable.
What does this have to do with steak? God damn it. That's all the Salt Bae is known for, is putting salt on steak. What the hell does this have to do with cooking meat anyway?
Infantino just got in the way and the presentation far too much. But he was the FIFA president. But Salt Bae, oh my God.
Salt Bae is officially collapsing in America and Europe, and his career looks like it's at the very end. Customers are humiliating him, critics are exposing him everywhere, and now his reputation is in freefall. From national television to everyday people online, everyone is criticizing Salt Bae. The complaints are always the same. The food isn't great, the prices are insane, and the so-called rituals, like sprinkling salt or flashy serving styles, feel silly and fake. And now on top of all that, his lawsuit controversies have backfired once again. It really looks like Salt Bae destroyed his own career. The empire he tried to build is crumbling, and very soon he might be completely shut out of both America and Europe. So what's actually going on here? Let's break it all down in this video. So, as you know, sources are saying that right now Salt Bae is facing 7 major lawsuits all over the world for his restaurants and some of his activities. Back in 2019, Salt Bae's New York steakhouse ran into serious trouble when a waiter accused the restaurant of skimming tips. Workers claimed about 3% of customer gratuities were being taken away, and anyone who questioned it got fired. The case didn't drag on too long. It was settled in 2020 for $300,000. But that wasn't the end. Later in 2019, another server in Miami complained of discrimination and wrongful termination, saying she was treated unfairly and underpaid.
People are salty with Salt Bae. Salt Bae has been sued by former employees ranging from waiters to managers to sommeliers for wage theft, discrimination, and labor violations. The former employees describe a toxic workplace full of unpaid overtime, illegal tip sharing, retaliation, sexism, nationality-based discrimination, and way more. These lawsuits have come to public attention.
Fast forward to 2021, and things escalated again. 5 employees in New York came forward saying they were falsely labeled as managers to avoid paying overtime. In reality, they worked more than 70 hours a week for just $1,125. That same year, 2 other workers filed lawsuits for discrimination. One, Angelo Maher, claimed he was excluded from good tables and even slapped by a manager because he wasn't Turkish. The other, Elizabeth Cruz, said she was pressured to wear revealing outfits and later fired when she resisted. Both sought $500,000 each. Then, in 2023, the allegations went global. A major investigation revealed lawsuits and testimonies across several countries, accusing Salt Bae's empire of toxic workplace culture, racial and gender discrimination, stealing staff tips, and even bizarre practices like reselling leftover wine to new customers. Right now, even the news media are exposing Salt Bae and criticizing all of his shady scams.
News threat Coachier, aka Instagram celeb Salt Bae, has his own restaurant chain, and apparently, according to those who've been, they're pretty trash. Gauthier has figured out a way to turn his suave meat cutting into over 10 million followers, but he hasn't figured out a way to make his food as good as his seasoning techniques. According to Time, the reviews are scathing, with food critics from across the city deeming it bland, boring, and way too expensive. Eater called the steaks rubbery, food critic Robert Siestima said he left hungry despite dropping $300 for 2, and Steve Cuozzo of the New York Post called the whole restaurant a ripoff, describing one of the steaks as shoe leather tough bone-in ribeye, which for extra fun was loaded with gruesome globs of fat.
Not just that, even the poor food quality has been revealed, and it's turning into massive backlash for Salt Bae in his life.
Honestly, the fact that a butcher who got famous off of his steaks online can't even prepare them to good standard in real life is the reason why you can't trust anything on IG. Still, Gauthier has served the likes of Justin Timberlake and Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles. I wonder if they thought his steaks were mundane, tough, and rather bland, like GQ food critic Joshua David. David also noted that aside from the bad steaks, other dishes were criminally overcooked, and you have to pay nearly $10 for a jug of water. But don't worry, it's not all bad news for News Threat. What the restaurant lacks in food, it makes up for with IG-ready photo ops.
So, is it just the news media exposing Salt Bae? No, the main exposers now are food critics. Everyone knows that Salt Bae became famous for his salt sprinkling ritual, which honestly is just wasting people's time and attention. Then there's the food quality and the insane prices. You might be surprised, but Salt Bae only visits each location once a year, staying for almost 2 weeks.
How often does he come?
Once a year. Stays like 2 weeks each location.
2 weeks! weeks. Once he completes the whole tour, a year.
So just imagine, a man literally turns his restaurant business into a vacation for himself. But the shadiest part? He spends only 2 to 5 minutes doing his famous ritual, and people are fascinated by it just because it was made trending. And even his little ritual is now making people question him. Recently, a customer actually humiliated Salt Bae just because of this ritual.
Went to Salt Bae's restaurant, and my fiancé was not going to let that man feed me.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The dude Salt Bae should have had some more social acuity. He should have understood that that is unacceptable to even ask that question. It's just disrespectful.
So, can you even imagine? The very ritual that made him famous is now being rejected. People are literally avoiding Salt Bae at his own restaurants. How shameful is that? And as you just heard, people are criticizing Salt Bae for his social conduct as well.
The dude Salt Bae should have had some more social acuity.
The main thing now is that Salt Bae has nothing meaningful to do. Day by day, he's turning himself into a joke and becoming trash in the eyes of the public. So while this kind of criticism is spreading everywhere, another interesting controversy has once again backfired on him. As you know, the FIFA World Cup is coming up, and people are reminding everyone that Salt Bae is banned from FIFA.
Why he was permitted to hold this or touch this is crazy.
But it's also very cringe.
We as a society made a massive mistake with Salt Bae.
If you remember, during the 2022 World Cup final, Salt Bae touched the World Cup, caused some shady incidents on the field, and got heavily criticized. Now people are bringing up the same criticism again, and with everything else, he's basically become internet trash.
What does this have to do with steak? God damn it. That's all the Salt Bae is known for, is putting salt on steak. What the hell does this have to do with cooking meat anyway? If he had done this at the Super Bowl, America would have been done with Salt Bae. But he might have been able to get some work, you know, outside of the country. Maybe Romania, who knows? But the World Cup is beloved globally. And Salt Bae, somehow, look at his face. Look at that guy.
So sleazy looking.
He got his ass on the field. He was doing his salt thing above the cup. This guy is trying to have a moment with his son, and Salt Bae is in it.
Not only that, remember, critics and experts also slammed Salt Bae for this. They warned him that such shady action should never happen again and heavily criticized him, just like you can see in this video.
Infantino just got in the way and the presentation far too much, but he was the FIFA president. But Salt Bae, oh my God, who's letting this guy and these people onto the field? They should not be down there. I get it. Some of these so-called superstars, they get tickets, they get boxes, they go to the game. That's fine. That's part and parcel. But stay off the pitch.
Yeah.
End of a World Cup final. It's not the Club World Cup, by the way. It's a World Cup final. Let the guys celebrate. Oh my God, I suppose that's the world we live in now, and FIFA allowed it to happen.
So this is how Salt Bae has now become one of the shadiest and most disrespected people on the internet. But how did it all start? Definitely, it began when people exposed him for rigging people and making money unfairly. This is the perfect example that even if someone becomes popular, if they don't respect their audience, backlash can hit hard, turning a hero into zero in just seconds. Just like that, Salt Bae is now losing everything. As you've seen, his restaurants are shutting down all over America and Europe. Even if he tries to go outside America, there's no guarantee he can survive like before. So what do you think? Will Salt Bae completely disappear from the internet soon? Drop your thoughts below.